Right, first day on the Datsun, so exciting times. Yesterday we got the car running after all the headaches, so we know everything's working fine. So I can take the engine out. It's good to check it really, so if you're looking to sell it, I can sell it with confidence. So everything's coming out of this, like we said, with the project we're doing, a different engine, different transmission, the body kit and so on. So what I'm going to start on first is getting this original engine out with the transmission. I want to clear out the engine bay. I want to take everything out so we can see what we're working with, tidy things up and prep for the new engine going in. And alongside that, as we know, already sort of planned, we're going to make the car right-hand drive. So I might as well today start getting the interior out and actually understand what's involved in converting it. I've got some of the bits, but I'm sure one of these jobs, once you start, you're going to find bits that you're missing or things that we might need to fabricate. So I think by the end of this first stage, I'll have a good idea what needs to be done. So to start this, I think let me get the bonnet off and make some space to work. I can't think of any modern cars who've got bonnets this way around. Right, Dave's come to give me a hand, get this off. There you go. Okay. I think a great thing on a car of this age is you've got so much space around the engine bay. Some of the modern cars we're working on, like the bigger power Skylines and Subaru and so on, that you can't even get your hand in there. It's so difficult. So I'm going to start this end. I'll disconnect the brake servo line, the throttle rod there, and the cables here for the choke, the coil pack. So let's get some of this stuff removed. I will work our way through, and then we'll get the car up, start doing the exhaust system, coolant. We'll take a prop shaft, and just work our way through everything. The throttle disconnected there. Coil, we'll just take that off the engine bay later. We'll chuck that in there while we work. That's something you don't see on modern cars now as a choke. But on the right hand side of the engine, I've got fuel. I'm going to disconnect that. I've got my wiring to the starter motor, wiring to the alternator, and wiring to the oil pressure switch. So if I disconnect all of those, and then we're ready to get the coolant out and get under the car. I've never had a car with a light in the engine bay, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that in for the finished car. Disconnected. Let's get that out of the way. Starter wires are off. In fact, there's only one wire there from the battery straight to the starter. Very simple. Don't need that. Coolant to come out, so I'm going to get the car up, drain the radiator, and then disconnect the hoses, disconnect the heater hoses, and then I think we're done at the top. We start working underneath and drain the fluids and work away from there. Right, coolant's dripping away nicely. Let's start on the engine oil, so I can open the sump plug here. There we go. There we go. Wow, that looks really clean. Its exhaust, obviously it's going to have a little bit of rust because it's got hot and cold, so some WD-40 was always going to help. I tell you what, some of the modern cars we work on never open like this. We have to either cut them off or get gas on them, get them red hot to open them. So quite impressed with how this thing is. Well, look at that, every single one's opened. All I'm done, get the exhaust off and show you what's next. There we go. That's the exhaust. Next is a slave cylinder, that's hydraulic. So I can just get rid of that completely. There we go, that's done. And that's your fork, that's free. Right, that's all free. That comes off there. Slide it out the back of the gearbox. There we go, that's our prop shaft. So I'm just going to take off this top radiator hose. All the 4 bolts are done. There we go. Pull that out. That's it. Our radiator is out. I've got a jack under the gearbox. I've just taken those gearbox bolts out now from that crossmember from earlier. So we should be able to lower the gearbox down and then get the angle right and get the engine out. So let's give that a go. We have lots of space inside the engine bay. Now this is the bit I'm going to start working on. Take the column out, take the brake servo out, and everything's going to go and transfer to the right to make it right-hand drive. So that's the next bit of work. My next task on the Datsun is make a start on the right-hand drive conversion. For that, I've got to get the dashboard out, steering column out, all the controls to see what we need to do to convert everything from left to right. We're going to have to make a position for the steering column. We're going to have to make a position for the brake pedals, clutch pedal, the master cylinders. There's quite a few things we're going to have to change. There's one screw I'd missed, so that's the bottom of the column. There we go. Bit of patience. So I'm going to disconnect all these plugs. There we go. So that's everything's off, so the column is free there. Right, there we go. Now let's tackle the dash. Right, so we'll screws it off. Let's see the pedal come off. There we go. Let's see if we can get this unit out. So I know the only thing I've got now is the cables on this side, so I'll detach them next. Right, with all those cables out, I can now pull this unit out. There you see the these come out. So these are the cables that are disconnected. That's the heater control pan. Actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be to wriggle out. Promising. So they're out. Right, now we can see more of the dash. So my pedal box has to go on that side. Now some things I can see obviously here, we haven't got like all this bracketry welded in. So next I'm going to get the pedal cage out, pedal box is out, push the wiring through on that side so I've got space to work, have a clean area, clean start. Right, I think I'm going to call it a night. We've got quite a lot done. We've got the engine out, dashboard out, heater box is out, pedal box, all of that is out. Now tomorrow I can start fresh, clean everything, get that felt off, and I start to figure out how I'm going to transfer those holes over to this side, get the steering column support over here. Yeah, we haven't got any of the bracketry here, so I'm going to have to fabricate a lot of this. So there'll be a lot of head scratching and figuring things out, but we'll get there. Join us next time, let's see how the project goes. So far so good. The easy bits are done, taking things out. The hard bits are putting it all back together, but join us for that. Thanks for watching.